Gavin, a 1-1 draw at home to St Albans. What are your reflections on that game?
Scrappy, devoid of a lot of quality. Probably pretty much how I expected it to be honest with you today. Just felt that the team that was going to win it, if anybody was going to make a mistake or something like that, something was going to give. A scrappy, horrible affair really that could have gone either way and at times. I don't think there was a huge amount of chances in the game, but we had a couple. I felt that we had a stonewall penalty which wasn't given, in my opinion. But I'll have to watch it back because I haven't. So I'll reserve a little bit of judgment on that. Okay, it's a point. We move on. We know what we've got to do. Not for the faint-hearted, this one today.
In recent weeks, we've been in great form, churning out some great performances as well as results. The performance just wasn't quite there today. Why do you think that might have been?
Don't know. You never know. It's a dip today. I didn't think we were ourselves. I think a few people may have psychologically not coped with it as well as we would have hoped today because of what was on the game. So there was a lot of performances that were below recent weeks. What the boys did do was absolutely dug in and fought, and much as I've asked them to do, and much as they've been bringing to the table every single week, no question. I thought we were devoid of quality. I think we had to be a bit braver in respect of some of the things that we did. We tried to change it at half time to cope with their wide left player. And I thought that sort of nullified him a little bit, if I'm honest, in the second half. The change happened. We just needed to be a bit braver in that final third.
You mentioned the player on the wide left. Is that an ongoing concern as management team during the game to
I think we saw that in the first half he was a problem to us. You can understand what they did to pin our wing backs back. Essentially, that happened. Although Billy got out quite a lot more than Lennon did in that first half, which was surprising because of the lad. But we just asked for the boys to be brave, for Zav to step out and take care of him, to free Billy up a little bit more to come forward, and for Mickey to drop down into the back four to keep it nice and sterile, etc., and everyone sort of dropping down, filtering backwards. And I think second half, it showed that, he was there wasn't much in the game. He didn't give a lot. But when that happens, you need to be a bit braver in the top end, and I think some of the balls forward were poor. We never really created what we would normally create, but did have some chances, and as they did. So game could have swung either way, but overall I think it's probably about fair.
In terms of the personnel, there have been weeks when we've gone with two up front. Today it was Kean Dillon with Sam Young supporting. What was the thinking behind that one?
Same as last week. I think Youngie gives us an aerial threat, and Kean runs on, as we saw, and Kean's had a couple of opportunities today. He's getting in those areas. He's not quite executing it at the moment. Youngie's had a quiet day really by his standards, and it's just really from a pairing point of view, we thought they did well last week, and we thought we stuck with it. Didn't quite work for us this week, I don't think, as well as we'd hoped, but it's credit to St Albans. They defended well and dug in well, so always going to be a bit of a damp game, I think. Now I can reflect on it.
The games are coming thick and fast now, and it's obviously a critical point in this season. What's the thinking in terms of personnel going into these next games? We've got one on Monday. It's a quick turnaround. To
see how Bailey is. He's come off the pitch at the end there. It may be that we might need to freshen it up when we go to Bournemouth. It's a hell of a tough game. We have to go there with a plan, which we'll formulate, which we've already started formulating, to be honest. And whether that allows for a bit of freshening up in that respect. I think the difference in this league as it was last season, I think we went Saturday, Monday last season, if I remember rightly. This season you go Friday, Monday, so it's not as horrible in respect of fatigue on the legs, etc. But nevertheless, it doesn't matter. We could have a week off before we play Bournemouth. It's going to be a hell of a tough game.
Cheers, Gav.
Cheers.